All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're jumping right in. We're going to break down exactly how you can ace your teaching assistant interview. So, if you're looking to land that role, you are in the right place. So, let's get into it. An interview can feel like this super high pressure test, right? But what if we just flip that on its head? Let's think of it as your stage. It's your one big chance to really show them why you belong there with those students in that classroom. Okay, so first things first, we've got to understand what's really going on in that interview room. Because trust me, it is so much more than just spitting out the right answers. Yup, exactly. Interviewers are trying to see the person behind the resume. They want to get a feel for your passion, how you handle challenges, and maybe most importantly, whether your personal values actually click with the school's whole vibe and culture. So the big question is, how do you show them all that? Well, a huge part of it comes down to the way you talk about your work. So let's dig into how you can put your core beliefs into words. And we'll start with a big one, your approach to student behavior. And this is so interesting. You wouldn't think it, but a simple choice of words, it can reveal everything about your professional mindset and your entire philosophy on education. This right here is a perfect example. Saying a student is becoming dysregulated versus, kicking off, it's a night and day difference. The first one shows you're looking at the behavior through a supportive, professional lens. It tells them you're all about problem solving, not just punishing. So when they ask that question, and they will, how do you support students? This is your chance. You can lay out concrete strategies just like these. See, you're not just saying you care. You're showing them how you put that care into action, whether it's modeling empathy or teaching kids how to regulate their own emotions. All right, so you talk the talk about your philosophy. Now it's time to prove you can walk the walk. You need to show them you've got the practical, hands-on skills to make it all happen in a real, busy classroom. Okay, let's kick this off with a word you're definitely going to hear. Differentiation. It's a crucial concept. And really, at its core, it's pretty simple. It just means knowing that one-size-fits-all teaching doesn't work. It's all about tailoring what you do to help every single student find a way to succeed. Now, when that interviewer asks about differentiation, this is where you can really shine. Instead of a vague answer, you can list off specific things you'd actually do. Using different materials, giving students choices, bringing in technology. It shows them you got a whole toolkit ready to deploy on day one. And you can bet they're going to dig a little deeper on this, especially when it comes to students with special educational needs, or SEN. What they're looking for is proof that you have specific, targeted strategies ready to go. Okay, here are 8 really powerful approaches you could talk about. Now, don't worry about memorizing this whole list. Just look at the themes here. Things like using a visual timetable or breaking down instructions. That shows you get how important clarity and structure are. And that last one, modeling that it's okay to make mistakes. That is absolutely huge for building a kid's confidence. And we've got 8 more right here, all following that same idea. It's all about creating an environment that's predictable, supportive, and really personalized. Take allowing processing time, for instance. It seems like such a small thing, but for some students, it can make a world of difference. All of these are just practical tools you can add to your professional toolkit. But here's the absolute key. You have to bring these skills to life with a story. Please don't just list off strategies like a robot. Talk about a time you actually used them. This case study here is a perfect example. It's got a clear goal, a specific method, and a fantastic result. That's the stuff that makes you stick in an interviewer's mind. Right, moving on. A great teaching assistant is never ever an island. You are a crucial part of a bigger team. So let's talk about how you can prove you're not just good with kids, but you're also a fantastic team player. So when they ask you about teamwork, you want to show them you're proactive. Talk about specific ways you've supported teachers before. Did you jump in and help with lesson planning? Did you give the teachers some really useful feedback based on your observations with a student? You want to show them you're ready to be a true partner in that classroom. Okay, we're on to the final piece of the puzzle, and it's a big one. Schools aren't just hiring for today. They're investing in someone for the future. They want to see that you're someone who is committed to growing and learning. So how do you show them that? This is another place where being specific will make you stand out. Please don't just say, oh, I like to learn. No. Mention specific things. Talk about joining professional organizations like NAPTA, or watching webinars from charities like NAZN, or even reading articles on platforms like TESS. This shows your passion isn't just a feeling, it's something you actively pursue. So we've covered your philosophy, your practical skills, and your commitment to growth. Let's pull it all together now and talk about the single most important tip that ties all of this together. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate key is pretty simple. It's not about memorizing a bunch of answers. It's about letting them see that authentic, passionate person we talked about right at the start, the one behind the paper resume. And here it is, the bottom line. Your personal stories are your secret weapon. They are what make all your skills and your philosophies feel real. They're the proof, the evidence that you can actually walk the walk. And hey, if you're thinking, but I don't have any classroom experience, don't panic. Seriously. An example from your home life, maybe helping your own kid through a tough homework problem, or a time you managed a tricky situation while volunteering, that can be just as powerful. What matters is that it shows your values and your attitude. So, before you walk into that interview, just take a minute and ask yourself this one question. Find your story, the one that really shows who you are and what you can bring to a classroom. Because that story, that might just be the thing that lands you the job. Good luck, you've got this.